and let's surf the wave.
What? A roar breaks the silence of Ethiopia's highlands. After 12,000 silent years, Mount Haile Gubi explodes into life. Molten rock sweeps into the desert night, painting the sky in red and gold. Scientists scramble to understand why this ancient volcano suddenly stirred from its prehistoric sleep. Thousands of miles away, Indonesia, home to more than 100 active volcanoes, is glowing again. In the last 30 days, Indonesia recorded 1,400 quakes of magnitude up to 6.4.
Whoa.
The Pacific Fire Belt ignites, Semeru rumbles, then Sanjay...
And they got the nerve to ask us, is this a sign, boss? Is this a sign? Is this a sign? The entire Ring of Fire is on fire, man. Solar flares, X flares, man. We're going to talk about the movie X, man. I got my droplets watching that movie, you know, with a dragonfly perspective. We're going to talk about this X haplogroup and talk about these X-Men tied into the junk, so-called junk DNA, which is just more cords and cables and fibers, man. We're going to continue to see clearly with a dragonfly perspective. We're talking Ring of Fireball. So what's happening in the world DNA? Yeah. They not like us.
API bursts. Hours later, Liwatobi joins in 3 eruptions in near succession. Indonesia lies in the Ring of Fire, where 90% of the world's quakes occur due to interactions among 15 major tectonic plates. To the north, Russia's Bezimiany roars, blasting ash 10 kilometers into the air.
Our dragons waking up. Our dragons coming out of their holes. Right. Our dragons coming out of their holes to subject themselves to a child. I'm not writing this. I can't make this up. 2nd Baruch 73. I don't know, man. It just looks like it's all happening.
A vast plume drifting across Kamchatka, reaching commercial air lanes. Pilots are warned, flights are diverted. It's a display of raw geological power.
Big Mama popping off, man. So, y'all leave a comment. Let's talk about space. Let's talk about space, baby. Let's talk about you and me. That water.
It seems to me that one of the greatest secrets that has been kept from us and yet given to us by NASA themselves for the last 3 or 4 decades, they constantly tell us that there's water everywhere in space. But that's not what we perceive, right? If I told you there's water in space everywhere, you'd say, well, you're an idiot. Space is a vacuum. We know space is a vacuum. There's nothing there. And yet that's not the case. And when you start researching space and water, it becomes mind-blowing. Article after article after article after press release and press release about water in space in amounts that are completely mind-blowing. Ocean worlds, water in the solar system and beyond.
The firmament divides the waters from the water, right? What was this darkness upon the face of the deep? Big Mama says in Proverbs chapter 8, I was there from the beginning. I was set up from everlasting, from the beginning. Or ever the earth was, I was there when there were no depths. HaWah, I was brought forth. We're talking about the breath. We're talking security, right? Right now we're talking about the revelation. When there were no foundations abounding with water, before the moons were settled, before the hills was I brought forth, while as yet he had not made the earth, nor the fields, nor the highest part of the dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. Preparing the heavens is the firmament, Ka. When he set a compass upon the face of the depth. I was set up from everlasting. In the beginning, HaWah created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the depth, the deep, and the spirit, the breath of HaWah moved upon the face of the water. Verse 6, and HaWah said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the water, and let it divide the waters from the water. So they're surprised that there's water in space because NASA told them. Big NASA told them it's a vacuum. Big NASA said it's a vacuum. Verse 7, and HaWah made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. And the spirit of HaWah moved upon the face of the water. Let's dig on this lexicon, man. Come on, boss. Hijack City. And the spirit and the breath. Whoa. I never looked in the lexicon for what they meant by spirit, but we know we're talking that ruach. And who's the breath, right? Paleo Hebrew alphabet. Oh man, you gonna give it to me now? Okay, I'll take it. Okay, so you got the Aleph, the Bat, the Gam. Strong power enters the house. Strong power enters the house. You begin to walk, gather, tribe up through a door, through an entrance, a door. You got your Ha, which is your breath. Then you got your Wah, which is your security. And that 10 peg is like, that's the staff. That Wah is the staff, just like the Lamin is the staff. The Wah is the staff. The Wah is the staff that holds the firmament in place, that connects the Aleph with the Tau. Yeah, that's connected with the security. That hook, that tent peg that pierces the firmament is the Wah. Isaiah, chapter, 40, stretching out the heavens as a tent, right? Let's go. I just like surfing. I just love surfing away with you, man. This ain't scripted what we do here. We let that ruach flow. Sometimes I got a few ideas, and all we need is a couple connecting points, and we are popping off. All praise HaWah for the breath. We talking the breath. Isaiah 40, verse 22, it is he that sits upon the circle of the earth, and the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers that stretches out the heavens. So Mama was there before all this was stretched out and matted out. Kahoog, matted out as a curtain and spreaded them out, Shamayim, the heavens, Shamayim, as a tent. And the tent peg, is the Wah. The Wah is the tent peg. Spread them out as a tent. The Wah is piercing the firmament for security, to secure the firmament so you can eat and get your food and have something cut off away from Hijack City. But this also was cutting off the waters from the waters. And the Za'an, the Matak, is a weapon to cut. And without making a distinction or cutting a division, right, then we can't eat. We can't have nourishment if we're always jammed up by Hijack City, man. But before you get your Za'an or Zion, Zayin, you get your mother, father, your framer, your shaper, your Wah, the A-H-I, Wah, Wah, W, Wah. They turn into Yah and Yahweh and all this to take you out from the Wah. They can't pronounce the Creator's name. You think Hijack City will be saying the Creator's name? You think all these hijacks can say the Creator's name? They say everything but the Creator's name. They say Yahweh, HaLal HaWah, Jehovah. They just make up anything, man. But we know after you walk through that door, you get two things. You get the and you get the Wah. We're talking right now about the breath, right? Ain't we talking about the breath? The tent peg, the Wah, HaWah, stretching out the heavens as a curtain. As a curtain. Yeah. Stretching out the heavens as a curtain. So the Egyptians knew exactly what was going on. This ain't no spinning ball cosmology. This is a firmament with the stars within the firmament. In Egypt, Geb holding up the firmament, or Geb is her curved body forming a firmament with the stars within the firmament as a tent to dwell in. This is clear as day, not talking about a spinning ball, but a tent, something with foundations, the foundations of the earth, and repeated, firm, fixed, and immovable, that the earth is firm, fixed, and immovable because it has the Wah, the tent pegs, right? The hot Wah going through it. So Mama was there before that, from the everlasting, from the beginning, or ever the earth was. HaWah possessed me in the beginning of his way. Seems like Pops had to get Mama, before anything else was able to be fruitful. Sounds like a divine marriage, right? An inhale and an exhale, and a Wah, a breath and security. HaWah, Hawaii, Ki HaWah, Josh HaWah, must have the Wah, breath and security in it. And if you don't have that by the time you get your Zion, by the time you eat, then you're getting a phantom and a duplication after that, because everything else is repeating the same rhythm. Even the Tao is the same Aleph. The beginning is the end. The HaWah comes before the seventh day. Seventh day we rest. Seventh letter Zion. Your HaWah, your breath and security Your tent peg is making the firmament stable, secure, foundation. I lead in the way of righteousness, in the paths of judgment. We're talking wisdom. We're talking mama. So mama is leading in the way of righteousness. Mama is leading in the midst of the paths of judgment, that I may cause those that love me to inherit substance. What is substance? It's all your things. It's all your treasures. It's your ruach, manage, and I will fill their treasures. That's why you're called the treasured ones in Psalms 83, because they have invaded the treasured ones. Mama was there from everlasting. Mama was there from the beginning, before the depths, before the deep. Yep. And darkness was over the surface of the deep, Genesis chapter 1. And the spirit, or the ruach, or the breath, wind, spirit of HaWah. So this is the breath of HaWah, right? Or of our Father, right? Because HaWah is our mother and father, frame and shaper. So if we're talking about our Father specifically, we're talking about the security, the Wah. The breath of the Wah, the Ha of the Wah was moving. Mama was there from everlasting. She is the breath. You walk through that door, my night. You walk through that door, you get, they say man with arms. Nah, this is Big Mama with her arms up, giving you that look, that revelation, that breath. Before you get your security, before you get your staff of the Wah that holds the firmament together, that connects the Aleph with the Tau. Now we can eat, right? Zan, my night. Because now we got the breath. Right, so in the beginning, and Mama was there from the beginning, she just told you, she is understanding, she is wisdom, right? And without her, there ain't no creation, nothing popped off. So the firmament was placed in the midst of the waters to divide the waters from the waters. And the spirit of God, or the, the breath of the security, or the mama of the wife, of the father, like this is a divine connection with framer shaper, moved upon the face of the waters. In that void they call space is water. Waters from the waters, and HaWah made the firmament, divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. But science, NASA wants to tell us this ain't so. They're trying to tell us it ain't so, but it was so. And he called the firmament heaven. And the evening and the morning were the second day. Now we can gather the waters under heaven, right, in one place, and let the dry land appear. And it was so. But they trying to tell us it ain't so.
In 2009, NASA found a sprawling cloud of cold water vapor around a solar system to a nearby star. The water vapor could eventually deliver oceans to dry planets that are forming in the system. It's water vapor. It's not water in some weird thing. It's water vapor they're talking about here. Could eventually bring oceans to new planets forming. this is just a little disturbing. And just hold on to your faith. The famous eye of God, Nebula, actually weeping tears of water. Wow. So there's water coming out of this nebula. This is not just a solar system. This is a nebula. This is a galaxies are born. Stars and galaxies are born in a nebula. And water is coming out of this. Can you imagine the size of the water that's coming out of a nebula? It's like one drop of that would engulf our entire solar system. And it just goes on. You know, oceans detected inside Saturn's moon, and stars found shooting water bullets. NASA confirms best ever evidence water on Mars. Water from Orion. Now there's water coming out of the constellation of Orion. And this is a big one. Star found shooting water bullets. I mean, a star shooting water bullets. A star is supposed to be a sun. There's water on a star?
Come on, balls. Water's above, water's below, man.